Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a full face of products I've repurchased. I love every single product that is on my table right now and cannot wait to do my makeup. I know it's going to turn out fabulously because these are all things that I've went back for over the years. Nothing's new here. This is all, I would say, older products. Let's start off with brows. I'm sure you can guess for brow gel. It's the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. I can't even tell you how many times I've gone back for this. This is my absolute favorite brow product on the market. I love how thin it is and the hold it gives, and there's no residue. On a budget, I like the Got2b. I've never ran out of that, though that's huge. So this one I will always have in my collection. It is so good. I love the brush, love the formula. There is nothing I would change about this. For brow pencil, I could have picked several because these are a product that I always run out of. Right now, I'm really loving the color of the Patrick Ta brow pencil in medium brown because I feel like this matches the tone of my hair really nicely. I did just get it done yesterday. We have fresh highlights in our hair, a little bit lighter. We did a partial highlight this time. I can't wait to see all my makeup though with my hair done because I haven't yet. This for me is the color. I also really love the NYX Micro Brow. That's another favorite I always go back for. Right now, my Patrick Ta is the one. Just because of color, I feel like it's best suited for my brows at the moment. So I always underline my brow with pencil and then I go in with the pen. And this is from NYX. It is their Lift and Snatch in Brunette. This I think I'm running low on. I swear I go through these so fast. But we are gonna do the brow-like hair strokes. I like this for the precision and the wear. And if you want a really natural looking wing liner, using this product for wing liner, great idea as well. So I do like to focus this a lot on the tail, and then if I need to go back and fill the front portion, like right here, there's some spacing, I go in with my pencil. Then to prep my lid space, I've been doing the same thing for I don't know how long. It's been a long time. So I will take whatever concealer I'm using that day. These are a couple that I have repurchased. We have the Too Faced Born This Way concealer and then the Hourglass concealer. I have others. Concealer is again another product that I just go through and rotate between my favorites. So I think today I'm going to use my Hourglass concealer. This is more of a recent discovery. The Too Faced I've loved for longer. I'm gonna take a flat brush. I like to clean up underneath the brow. I don't clean up the top. And then once I've made the shape I like, I just bring it down onto the lid. And then we're gonna set it with powder. Then to set my concealer, this is my absolute favorite. It is the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder. I just think it works so well as setting for the lid. If you have oily lids, I wouldn't say I do, but I just feel like it holds onto my eyeshadow really nicely. I'd recommend this to everyone, just to set your concealer. I personally like a set concealer. I find it easier to blend. I know some people like the pigment that goes on when you're unset. It just doesn't work for me. I like a set lid. It's consistent, blends better. You never know what you can expect with an unset lid. This is always the same expectation. You will see in my empties video, the one that is old that I had to repurchase because I took it with me and some kind of bug got inside. So I had to repurchase it, not because I finished it. I wanted to finish it in full, but I had to repurchase it just because there was a bug I did not like. One thing I have never repurchased is an eyeshadow palette. I can't recall. I'm trying to think. That's one of those things that I just haven't used one in its entirety, every single shade, to warrant repurchasing an eyeshadow palette. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of my bronzer in the crease, which you know which one this is that I've repurchased, but I will let you know once we actually get to bronzer. It's just gonna quick color to add some depth, and then we'll move on to the rest of the eyes. We have a couple eyeliners here. I love a good eyeliner pen. There's been a couple I've repurchased over the years. This is from Kylie Cosmetics. It's the Kyliner. I really, really like this. I love the tip of it, how precise it is, and just how matte the color is. The wear of this too. I just think the formula of this is really, really fantastic. I'm surprised not more people talk about this. It is really good. If you're looking for a new eyeliner, I highly recommend this one. So I've started to do my eyeliner a little differently because I've noticed this eye becoming a little more hooded. So I just look straight ahead, see where I want to put it. It looks different when you're looking down now. It's not quite a bat wing on my eye yet, but it's getting there with how my eyes are aging. So I'm just going to look ahead in the mirror, put the placement there, but I'm just trying to lift it a little bit more and just go over top of that hooded part and connect it. I go through stages of wearing eyeliner or not. Right now I'm in an eyeliner stage for during the day. And for mascara, this is probably my most recent repurchase. I've bought this, I think 3 times at this point. It's the Rare Beauty mascara. However, if I were to repurchase another mascara that is newer, I'm really loving the Benefit Fan Fest. I feel like that has been making my lashes look the absolute best. I go through stages of different types of mascara. This is always one that I can rely on. So it's the Rare Beauty one. I feel like it's a good price point also at Sephora. And I love that they have sets that come out around this time, so I'm hoping for a mascara set. This one is really good for volume. I like my Benefit one because it's been giving a little more separation than this one. Benefit can get slightly clumpy on me, and I love the fan effect it gives. This is more of an overall volumizing. It doesn't fan anything out or separate really, but it gives a ton of volume, which I love. This one I'm scraping. She's almost an empty. I can tell because it's getting a little clumpy. There is the Rare Beauty mascara, you can tell. Tons of volume. Then my most repurchased eyelash are a classic. They're the Ardell Wispies. And I buy these not as a strip. I always cut these in half and use each of the halves on my eyes. So we're gonna do that today. Get out a fresh pair. I keep, I think, 5 large segments. You can see what I cut off there. So I don't quite cut this one in half. Sometimes I do, and just use both of the halves of the one lash if I want to get some more use out of these. Right now I want about 5 segments. Looks good. Then for lash glue, I use Velour or Esquito. Those are the 2 lash glues I have personally found that don't irritate my eyes. I am quite sensitive to certain lash glues. It's not a latex allergy. It's a certain ingredient in lash glue. Even on some lash bands, when they come adhered in a pack, I can't use some of them just based on the glue that certain companies use just to have them lightly stuck in their packaging. So I haven't figured out what exact ingredient it is because I don't know for glue and packaging, but I just know that for the Esquito and the Velour lash glue, they just have less ingredients in them. The Esquito has the least amount, even less than the Velour one. But Velour for me is a little bit easier to get a hold of because I can get it at Sephora, but I like both lash glues, both repurchase. Perfect name for these lashes are wispy because honestly, that's what I love about these lashes, especially wearing them as a half lash. Perfect length, just perfect amount of volume for me. So those always I go back to. If they're a little too long for you, Ardell does do a demi wispy that is definitely a little bit shorter that I have used in the past and have repurchased, but for me, I just really love the length and how much volume just the traditional wispies have. So those are now applied, and we're gonna move on to the face. I will finish off my under eyes and my waterline. I think I'm gonna do something in my waterline, just show you a repurchase for that. And we're gonna work on the base. So I have my Bobbi Brown products, the Vitamin Enrich line, which I have repurchased both. And this often I use just as a primer on its own. However, I want to show you a primer that I have repurchased and I love. And I feel like I've neglected lately because I've been trying to pan another primer because I ran out of this one, repurchased it, and then I'm trying to work on other stuff in my collection. So it's been a little bit for me and I cannot wait to wear it. So just using the eye base, it makes a big difference for me to moisturize this area. Just for the wear of my concealer and makeup in general, I need a very moisturized base. And then I can go in with matte foundations, which have the perfecting quality I'm looking for, but I have that hydration underneath so that it doesn't actually look dry on my skin. Now we are primed and ready to go. Feels so good. If you have not tried these products, I highly recommend checking them out. Perfect amount of moisturizing, perfect base. I feel like you probably wouldn't even really need a primer if you've tried those and use it. You'll know what I'm talking about, just how it makes the skin feel and look. This is thicker, but I feel like actually works for my pores for whatever reason. It doesn't have any pore claims. I just see that when I use it, However, when I want the smoothest base possible, I go in with my Glowish by Huda Beauty Blur Jam. You know my love for this. However, it's been a minute since I've used it because I've been trying to use up other things. So this is a repurchase of mine, and it says to only use a small amount. I actually used a lot more than it says. I put this all over my face, everywhere. I forgot how good this was. So give this a nice press into the skin. I feel like my makeup wears a little bit longer with this too because it has slightly tacky texture. Silicone free, but it kind of feels silicone-y, but not at the same time. Two of my most repurchased foundation products are these two products. So we have one I use as a full coverage foundation. It is the Too Faced Born This Way Matte. This is the best long wearing perfecting foundation I've ever used. And for a skin tint for daily wear makeup, I love my Beauty Blender Bound Skin Tint, as I'm sure all of you already know. So I feel like I'm gonna use my Too Faced one today just because I don't feel like I've used this on camera for a little bit. And you already know my love for the Beauty Blender. So I just wanted to show you this one on camera. I love the coverage it gives. And it's my perfect shade for when I'm my most tan, in the shade Golden. Like literally a perfect match for me. I've never found a better match for my tan. I'm just gonna take my time to blend this, build it up. For this one, you 100% need to be moisturized if you're normal to dry. Just because there is a fairly quick dry down on this, I'd say, but the wear of this and finish is what really gets me. I love how this wears. It says 24-hour. I've never worn it for that long, but I can imagine it would be just as good 24 hours later. That's how much it sticks on my skin. For concealer, the Hourglass is the most full coverage concealer I've personally ever used. A little bit is all you need. I use this shade Beach, and it's the perfect shade for when I'm self-tan. So I'm just gonna apply a little bit underneath the eye. I'll use also this to highlight my nose. I put a little around my nostrils and then a little on my smile lines to brighten up that area. And that's what I've been doing lately for concealer. Then just using the Hourglass brush to blend everything out. It's really great because it maintains that coverage. It's dense enough to move around this product because it is a little bit thicker, which you're either gonna love or hate. There are people who love this concealer, me, and people who absolutely hate it. So I always recommend getting the mini in this one because I feel like if you like full coverage, you like that thicker consistency, you'd really enjoy it, but it might be problematic for some, so try before you buy full size. It's just so lifted and pretty, just so good. Then I just go back in with my sponge, make sure everything is pressed in. I feel like this is an essential step that I often forget, but makes a huge difference for the finish. Just making sure everything is one with the skin. For powder, I've used up my Huda Beauty powder and Pound Cake, and also I've gone through my Charlotte Tilbury powder in number 2. I have 3 colors. I have 1, 2, and 3 in this. So I'm going to show you 1 and 3 just because I haven't actually used up one of these before because they're more recent to me. I always go through number 2, but this is the condition of my 1, this is the condition of my 3, and my 2 is a fairly recent repurchase. I got a refill. So we have her here, and I'm going to be using number 2 predominantly for under eye and to set the rest of my face. I do really love my Huda Beauty, but I think I'm going to use Charlotte Tilbury. That's what I use for most days. So I just take a powder puff, do my under eyes first, make sure there's no creases before I set them. Often use 2 just in my T-zone, and then I'll set the perimeter of my face lightly with a brush with number 3 when I do have a tan. So I think I'm actually going to do that today. I was going to do 2 all over. We are looking a little lighter. Bronzer will bring it back, plus my setting spray, but I feel like I need 3 on the perimeter of my face right now. I have all these random specks of glitter on my face. I really need to clean up my filming space because that's not supposed to be there. Probably from that Patrick Top palette. Those eyeshadows, they need a cover. They need a cover on them so bad. I'm getting glitter on my face right now. And it's not even anywhere here. It's just because it was here. So we are looking nice and smooth, flawless base. We're gonna go in, add a little bit more dimension with some bronzer, which you know this is my favorite one. It is the MAC Cosmetics bronzer in Give Me Sun. It just never fails me. You can use that same brush we use to powder the face and just start to lightly add some bronze dimension to the skin. Hopefully sweep off those glitters that seem to be stuck in my base. Probably press them on with that sponge. The color of this is perfect. The formula is perfect. I feel like you always get a really nice blend with this. It never looks muddy or patchy. It's a very skin-like finish. It is a mineralized skin finish, so very great formula for bronzer from MAC. I'm just going to pinch my brush. I'm not going to get out a contour brush for this. Just going to lightly add some bronze to my nose just so it doesn't get lost in my face. I'm actually going to bake my nose with the Huda Beauty powder just because I have repurchased this. I'm like, you know what? Let's use her. We did repurchase a loose powder. I've also repurchased the Hourglass powder. I love that one so much. There's so many powders. Complexion, I could use so much. Until it comes to color, because bronzer, MAC is one of the few that I've actually repurchased. Blush was really hard. Highlight, I don't think I've ever repurchased a highlight. I was trying to think. We're going to let the nose hang out. I hardly ever do this anymore. But we're going to move on to blush. This might be my only blush I've repurchased, I think. I've repurchased formulas, just not the same color ever. This is MAC Melba. I love this blush. One of my favorite powder blushes of all time. Again, I'm just going to use that powder brush that we've been using. It's big, but I don't feel like dirtying up a brush. This is like me doing my everyday makeup. I just make do with as few brushes as possible. But I love the tone of this blush on my skin tone. It's just so pretty. So natural. It's like the perfect mixture of peach and pink. Oh, I love it so much. So I noticed for me, I would have to say highlight and eyeshadow palette are my two that I don't repurchase, or I haven't. I would love to know if you have a category like that yourself, which you haven't repurchased the exact same thing. I love to try new and different stuff. So for me to actually repurchase something is saying a lot for me. So now we have Melba on the cheeks, and this is the closest I feel like I've ever got for a highlighter, is this one in the Charlotte Tilbury palette. I don't even know if you can see. It's indented. I just don't wear highlight that often. So I'm trying new things, but I'm just not making a dent on them. I used to love this highlight so much. I prefer more of the Dior and Rare Beauty formula now. Like a baked formula I really, really like. Or that gelée formula. This one is pretty, but I notice since using other formulas how this can sit a little bit heavier on my skin. But I used to love this highlight. Just funny how our preferences change. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of highlight, not too much, and then just brush this bake away with that same brush we've been using. Does it have blush on? Does it have bronzer, powder? Well, it has powder now. Who cares? And add a little bit of highlight to help out with that contour. Before we finish off my lower lashes, I'm actually going to set my face because I'm going to be putting mascara on my lashes and I just don't want it to bleed. So I'm going to be using my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. I still love this, even though I recently discovered my Cali Ray one. I can't even explain my Cali Ray. It just is different. It looks different on my skin, it feels different, and I just love how natural it makes my skin look. But I still love Charlotte Tilbury. Like, I've repurchased this more than any other setting spray, but I feel like Cali Ray is going to be my new one that I repurchase all the time. I've also repurchased Fix Plus, but I don't count that as a setting spray. It's just a refresher spray. It doesn't lock anything down. And then for eye pencil, I've repurchased Teddy from MAC. A bunch of MAC. In recent years, I haven't done as much eye pencil repurchasing. I think I would repurchase my Perfect Brown from Makeup by Cheryl. But Teddy's a classic. I also repurchased Costa Riche from MAC. And I've been really loving lining my waterline lately. Still bothers me to do. Either upper or lower. I just don't like the feeling of it. So now I'm going to complete my eyes with a little bit of mascara from Rare Beauty. For lower lashes, I need to repurchase my Rimmel Lash Accelerator. That has been my most repurchase for my lower lash line. I just have been honestly trying to use up makeup. So I haven't repurchased that either. It's funny that I'm doing a repurchase makeup when that's something that I'm trying to not do at the moment. I just want to use up what I have, where I can. Saying that though, I feel like I need it back in my life because this doesn't look as good on my lower lashes as one of those thin brushes like the Rimmel or the MAC Giga Black. Looks okay, but I'm just missing a lower lash mascara. I need a new brow pen. I think I have to make some repurchases today, or at least soon. I've been holding off though. I'm obviously loving how everything's turning out. I've wanted to do this video for so long, showing you all my favorites and repurchases. So for lip pencil, I'm using MAC. Again, another one that I've repurchased. This is Cork. I have repurchased a few from MAC. There's just so many good colors, staple colors in my collection from MAC Cosmetics. Spice is another one. I used to use Strip Down more back in the day. Now it's like Cork and Spice, I'd say, are my top two. Then recently I haven't repurchased the lipstick, but MAC Angel I have in the past. Just, yeah, nothing recent for repurchase for this. I've been back into using this color and topping it with a gloss. If I had that Patrick Ta gloss, I would top that new holiday one with this combo. However, that is obviously something I haven't repurchased, but I would totally do with this color combo. But this is a gloss I have repurchased, and it's from Sephora Collection. It's 02, and this is their Outrageous Plump Effect gloss. Such good glosses. I feel like these are underrated. So when the Sephora sale comes up and they have the 30% off Sephora Collection, pick up this gloss and a bunch of other Sephora Collection products because they're so good. So we're gonna get some nice plump looking lips with this. That is the makeup complete. I'm going to go off camera, just fix up my hair. Cannot wait to see my new hair with my makeup done. I've been waiting for that, and I will finish off this video with you guys. So that is the completed makeup using all my repurchased products. Some of my favorite repurchases, because there's others obviously I've repurchased in other categories, but all I could show you in one video. So I hope you enjoyed this idea. I'm definitely interested in doing full face of nothing new. Not necessarily a repurchase, but things that I have in my collection if you want to see that aren't new products. Let me know if you want to see that sort of video, and I can definitely do that for an upcoming video for you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this one, this idea. I obviously love these products and think you guys will too. Repurchases for me are a huge deal because I love to try new things, the nature of my job, and it just really takes a lot for me to actually go ahead and repurchase something that I used up as opposed to trying something new, just because I love trying new things. So thank you guys so much for clicking on this video, for spending some time with me today. If you've not already, I would absolutely love for you to subscribe to my channel by hitting the red subscribe button, the bell to be notified of all my future videos, and I will see you guys in my next one.